Welcome to Current Chatter, the place where we dive into the latest news and happenings going on around the world. Join mother and son duo Kota and Losa as they engage in lively debates over current affairs and anything else that sparks a discussion. With diverse perspectives and a bit of fun, you never know what topics will come up next. Tune in every Friday afternoon for your weekly dose of Current Chatter.
What's going on, guys? Welcome to another thrilling episode of Current Chatter. You know, it's two different generations in one noisy world. As always, I'm here with Mama. Mama, how are you doing?
I am doing spectacular. I had some time off from work, and then I went to a breast cancer thrivers retreat in Park City, Utah, and it was put on by a group called Image Reborn. Shout out to Image Reborn out there. And they do these free retreats for breast cancer survivors.
So I want to hear all about it. How was it? Like, do you have a favorite part? Was the food good?
Everything about it was awesome. They had a chef come in and cook for us. And we had massages and Reiki and
I think it's called Reiki.
Foot Reiki. Sorry, Reiki. Like, I don't know. It was new to me. I'd never had it done before.
Would you do it again?
Having someone... Yeah. I was kind of laying there at one point while they were ringing the bells over you. They go, hung. Like, and you feel it like deep resonate in your soul. These hung, the Reiki stuff with the bowls.
Yeah.
It was crazy. But my favorite part was just getting to know new people and, it shared discomfort of breast cancer. And it just was really great.
Did you guys scream into the void like I thought?
A little bit.
So was it just people that have recovered from breast cancer? They finished their fight, or was there people that were currently going through a breast cancer fight?
During this conference, it was just for people who have already done the fight. At least a couple of us are like 6, 7, 8 months out, but all in recovery.
Would you do it again?
In a heartbeat.
Good. I'm so glad you got to go do that.
It was so much fun. And, shout out to all my girls that were at the retreat and that, just the shared camaraderie again.
Yeah.
It was just amazing.
I'm so glad you got to experience that, and it was a good experience. I didn't think it wasn't going to be any but a good experience. You and I have this crazy ability to, I don't want to say command a room, but our presence is known in a room. Our personalities are pretty fucking loud, wouldn't you say?
Yes, a little bit loud.
I always find myself, even in awkward situations, like interviews or new friends, things like that, I always seem to shine in those moments because I just I have no filter, that
you and me both.
Yeah, I was gonna say I got that from you.
Yes, I think my problem is right now is that my face will say it before I actually verbalize anything. And because I spend so much time alone working from home as I do and stuff, that sometimes I can't control it.
Or you miss having the mask on your face too much to where you can hide your facial expression a little better.
And now you're like, no,
that was
everybody can see what you're doing.
After the pandemic, that was something I had to learn was oh shit, people can see me sticking my tongue out at them when I'm not happy with them. I would be loading customers and they'd be talking shit and I'd just be like, but they couldn't tell. My eyes were just wide.
Yeah, don't do that in front of real customers, Dakota. That would be bad.
It's a good thing I don't work with customers anymore. I have a hard time when I'm watching horror movies where you've seen horror movies where they scratch the walls and their fingernails are coming off. You've seen those kind of horror movies?
Yes. Ouch.
Or they bite onto something and their teeth crack, or they get eyeball stuff. So eyeballs and teeth, sensory things fuck me up. I read a book where a guy took toenail clippers and put the toenail clippers on his teeth and clipped his teeth like that. And it freaked me out. It made my skin crawl. It was it's still to this day
Why? Why would he do that? What was the point?
He was a fucked up individual and I'm a fucked up individual and I need to work on myself for reading those kind of books. That's besides the point. California right now in San Gabriel Valley, they have a very strange black tiny fly that bites human eyeballs.
That doesn't sound like any fun at all. I don't know. I'm confused. Why would it? How do you figure that out? It's a fly that only
Someone had to get bit first. So, in San Gabriel, California, small black flies with a wicked bite are swarming parts of the San Gabriel Valley. And experts say their unusual early arrival is overwhelming the residents of the valley. Experts describe the insects, they're smaller than mosquitoes, but far more aggressive. They aim for the eyes, and their bite is really painful. I think anything in your eyeballs is just going to be painful.
Yeah, I don't think that's like a gimme, isn't it?
Yeah, it's like if I ever got glaucoma, and I think Grandpa Wilson had glaucoma, and he had to get shots in his eyes. Nope.
Yep.
Just leave me be.
He said that gout was worse.
He did?
Grandpa said gout was worse than getting shots in the eye.
I don't know. I don't know, man. I don't know. Okay, we'll take it from the old man himself. But I just
Yeah.
and I thought about getting LASIK to help with my astigmatism and maybe get away from glasses. But again, you have to get shots in the eyes that paralyze your eyeball, and then you look at a laser, and I'm like, I can't do it. I just have
I would be so afraid to look away and burn something
right?
out.
But that's why they give you a shot in your eye to numb your eyeball to where you don't have the muscle to move it.
It's not. Yeah.
No.
There's just some stuff that you don't want to see in your life, and a laser beam shining down at you is one of those.
Right. They're biting black flies, and so these are different than your regular horsefly. It was like the Fish and Game. It's not Fish and Game. She is the director of
Insects.
something like that. Unlike common horseflies, they're just called black flies, are drawn to human breath and the salty moisture around your eyes.
That's nasty.
One resident said, "Oh, that's disgusting." Diaz is the name of the lady who's reporting on the expert on these types of bugs. Diaz noted that while black flies can transmit river blindness, that risk does not apply locally.
Question, while you look that up, some more content, did you happen to finish watching Fear Factor?
Yeah, I did. And I'm so happy that What's-His-Nuts didn't win. I'm really upset that the one young kid won because I really wanted the mom to win. But it just gives me...
I wanted the mom to win, too.
Yeah, it just gives me such hope because I did apply for it. I did apply again. This will be my third time applying for Fear Factor. So all of my podcast homies out there, send a shout out to Johnny Knoxville asking him to let me in. River blindness is a common name for orthocardinus, a parasitic disease that can lead to severe itching, skin damage, and even permanent vision loss.
That's horrible. All from a black fly. Ugh.
A tiny black fly. They are a vector for river blindness, which is a disease that you can transmit, but that's not something that we see here. It's mostly known in other parts of the world. Here, they're just mostly a nuisance. So it doesn't sound like the river blindness disease is happening in California. They're just a nuisance. But in other parts of the world, they can give you river blindness. Still, the bites are unsettling.
Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and say hard no on that. Can we just put me down for a hard no?
What? Yeah, exactly, right? I can take bug bites. That's one thing. But a bite on my eyeball.
I have been bit by a horsefly, and those frickin' hurts like a mother. And then it goes away, and it'll just come back. The pain and the infection and all that.
Yeah,
oh, it's nasty.
Awful.
It's horrible.
So one resident said, "I don't want anything biting my eyes, even if they don't transmit anything. That still sounds really fucking bad."
Yeah. Like I said, we're going to go ahead and hard no. Hard no.
So some of the local technicians are targeting blackfly larvae in local riverbeds. They're spraying this pesticide in the river that's not harmful to the other wildlife. It just kills the larvae because they're seeing such an uptick because of all the warm weather that they've had throughout the winter and the spring. So the flies are coming much earlier than they anticipated and in bigger swarms because of the heat and whatnot. So I saw that and went,
that makes sense.
Flies that bite your eyeball,
yeah, no. Like I said, hard no.
Yeah, hard pass. Hard pass. Such a hard pass.
Yes. All right. So I do want to send a shout out while we're podcasting. We record podcasts on Wednesday, but I want to do a shout out to the Artemis 2 crew that we launched into outer space today. They're going to go around the moon. They're going to be the farthest astronauts have ever been away from the Earth. And, Godspeed to them. And this will put us on the moon soon.
We've already been on the moon.
I know, but this will put us, we're in a race with China to see who can establish a base on the moon.
A base on the moon. Okay.
Yeah.
Well, they get half and we get the other half. The fuck? That is cool, though. I do hope in my lifetime I'm able to see some outer space shit. Not physically see it, but see the progress we're able to make. What's crazy to me, what really fucks me up in my brain, Mom, and I don't know if you, this keeps me up at night, and I don't know why, but we know more about outer space than we do about our own oceans.
Isn't that crazy?
But the problem with our oceans is the farther you go, the more pressure. So we can't get anything down there because of the pressure and you could implode. It just
right?
It boggles my flabbers are gasted whenever I think about space in the ocean. How can we know more about outer space than our oceans? It just doesn't compute in my brain, and it hurts.
You need to not think so hard about it, Dakota, because
I guess
you're the only one losing sleep over well, probably not the only one.
There's no way I can be the only one.
So that's what we need all our chatterheads to comment on. What is the one thing
that keeps you up at night? And the amount of people that don't wash their hands after they touch their penis freaks me out. Wash your fucking hands.
I have to agree with you.
Is it like that in the ladies' room? Do ladies not wash their hands?
No, we do, because it's nasty, Dakota.
It is disgusting, right? Yeah. It's a wash your fucking hands.
Don't be dirty. So, have you ever heard of squirrels vaping?
Add it to the bingo card.
Add it to the bingo card for the year. Wildlife experts are warning of the dangers of discarding nicotine products that have a different taste to them than just regular nicotine, because squirrels have been caught vaping in London parks.
Do they have video of this? They do?
Yes. I don't have a video of it, but they said that you can look up a video, shows a gray squirrel appearing to nibble on the mouth of a discarded vape atop a wooden fence at a park in London. Other photos and videos of various social media sites have captured other incidences of squirrels handling, chewing on, and even it says buying discarded vape devices, but I've never known a squirrel to buy anything. It says buying discarded vapes. Squirrels can't buy discarded vapes, Dakota.
Yeah, how are they paying
they're
for
squirrels. I know, with little squirrel credit cards.
Do you take Tap to Pay? Does Apple Pay work here? Or I guess it'd be, does Acorn Pay work here?
Exactly. Can you believe that? Yeah, they're saying that because it's something that they don't ever see in nature, that the squirrels are now attracted to it.
So interesting. That's my big problem with the disposable vapes. It was also my big problem with the K-Cups is the disposable vapes and the K-Cups, they're overfilling the landfill, and you're supposed to dispose of these vapes properly. You have to take them to a battery drop-off location because they have a battery in them, and that's why I try so hard to stick with my big boy vape, my rechargeable, reusable. I fill it up in the tank just because I personally cannot handle the thought of adding more to our landfills, and that's just a personal reason because I'm a hippie at heart and it kills my soul. But yeah, that's the one problem I have with these vapes and a lot of times people just discard them like cigarettes, they just toss them out of their cars.
Right, it's ridiculous, and that's what's happening in London. And so they're saying that it's because it's stuff that you don't find in nature, because of the flavor of the vapes that changes the molecular structure of it. Instead of it just being like a nicotine, which is found in nature, it's something completely different. And the squirrels are going hog wild.
Just absolutely crazy over it. I've got an animal story for you, and I think you'll appreciate this one.
No.
Chesney, the kangaroo, scales tall fence and flees petting zoo for 3 days on the lam.
I think I saw this on the news today. And it got all the people in the neighborhood involved in trying to catch it.
Yeah, I think so. I haven't read the article, but I think you're right. How does...
It jumped, Dakota. It's a frickin' kangaroo. It jumped over the fence.
Well, what else is it gonna do? Like, they're not known for just
like,
moseying across a fence.
I know, but it's like, oh my gosh, you realize it jumped over the fence.
My thing is
to get away from.
It's in a petting zoo, so people are actively touching this kangaroo.
Yeah, no, I don't think. No. Nope. I'm sorry. After all the stories we've had, there's no way in hell you could put me in line to sit and pet a kangaroo.
Is this the first kangaroo story we've had in 2026?
In 2026, but not the first kangaroo story.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
How does a kangaroo escape a petting zoo? It's not the opening line to a dad joke. If you're Chesney, the kangaroo, you scale an 8-foot or 2.5-meter fence and go on the lam for 3 days, giving your keeper sleepless nights and setting residents of a small Wisconsin town on a search that would end happily on Saturday. The unsuspected leap Sunshine Farm in Wisconsin I
think we need to investigate this Wisconsin farm.
Last week, stray dogs that rushed into the enclosure and spooked the 16-month-old Chesney and his keeper.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that. They're saying that the dog scared it and it jumped over the fence. Okay, so now it's not as bad as it appears.
The unexpected leap at Sunshine Farm in Wisconsin last week was ensued by stray dogs that rushed into the enclosure and spooked the 16-month-old Chesney and his keeper, Debbie Maryland. She and her friends then searched in this town about 160 miles or 255 kilometers northeast of Milwaukee. They chased reports of sightings and even rented heat-seeking drones, which provided an efficient in narrowing down the wanderings of the high-jumping adventurer. I was putting on about 37,000 steps per day looking for him, Marilyn said on Sunday. I haven't done so much exercise in a very long time.
Neither had the poor little Chesney.
Yeah, Chesney and his roommate Kenny are named after country music star Kenny Chesney. They are among 25 animals at the Sunshine Farm, with horses, sheep, alpacas, pigs, Highland cows, and camels.
Oh, I want a Highland cow. Have you seen
Those are
them?
the big fluffy ones, right?
Yes. Your dad was so funny. He came home 6 or 7 months ago and he was like, I got the picture of the fanciest cows you'll ever see. And they were pictures from somebody in Park City or Heber or up in that area that had Highland cows. And he took pictures and he's like, look at these fluffy cows. He was so enamored with
He'd
them.
never seen a Highland cow? That's awesome. And then they also have camels. The farm is generally open on Fridays through Sundays from mid-May through mid-November, and tours are offered to visitors who can interact with said animals. Chesney escaped about 11:15 a.m. last Wednesday, though he stayed within a 3-mile or 5-kilometer radius of the farm. He kept his pursuers guessing. Colton Johnson, an owner of Midwest Aerial Drone Services, has used heat-sensing drones to help hunters recover deer and reunite missing dogs with their owners. Oh, that's wholesome as fuck. And add a kangaroo to that list now. Johnson spent 3 days trailing Chesney along Maryland, and a team of volunteers. His strategy was similar to the ones he used to find lost pets. But Johnson said the appearance of Chesney's heat signature on the drone footage was unique. I wouldn't...
Oh, yeah. It's like it's a kangaroo. Come on.
I bet you if you went to Australia and you're like, have you seen the heat signature of a kangaroo? They'd be like, yeah, bitch, what? But in Wisconsin?
In Wisconsin.
Of course it's going to be unique. What? It almost looks like a dinosaur running through the woods, Johnson said. It's got a long tail, and the way it's moving and hopping, that's the only way I can describe it. That's a good way to describe it.
That's crazy.
The team caught up with Chesney on Wednesday and again Thursday night. Johnson said the frightened kangaroo slipped away, once by jumping into a cold river, and Johnson lost track on the drone. According to Maryland's friend, Stacy, who helped out at the farm routinely, Friday was a tough day. No one had spotted Chesney all day, and searchers feared he had wandered further ahead into even more unfamiliar territory. Then Friday night, Chesney was discovered nestled under a tree in a wooded area. A group of searchers surrounded him, but ever fleet of foot, 20 miles an hour or 32 kilometers per hour is no stretch for him. Chesney eluded them. Marilyn returned to the area Saturday morning with Chesney's favorite treats and pieces of material that had his and Kenny's scent. Other searchers later joined her, but there was no sign of the kangaroo. They started packing up. Just then, they spotted the long-legged kangaroo with outsized back legs approaching. Oh, so he got his treats and his smell, and he was like, I'm ready to go home.
He's like, I want to go home. I want to go back to Chesney. He's Chesney.
Kenny.
You want to go back to Kenny.
Yeah. It says Vernon stepped up with a delicate touch. He had a very calm attitude when he walked up. Obviously, you could tell he wasn't in fight or flight mode, so I just went with it. I just stayed calm with him, and I just kind of went and sat and let him come to me. Chesney heard the voices and wanted attention, who eventually scooped up the 40-pound animal. I do believe he heard our comforting voices. He smelled familiar smells of home, and it just made him feel safe. Burnett adding, I'm just glad he loves me as much as I love him.
Yeah, still. Kangaroos, yeah.
I gotta see a kangaroo heat signature, though.
Had to bet on the bingo card for the
Oh,
year.
yeah. Kangaroos are always on the bingo card after last year.
So, Dakota, do you allow your cats to play with hair ties?
It's not something we typically, just have out for them to play with. If they find one and happen to steal it, that's different. If I see them playing with it, I will take it. Why? What's up?
Because there was a cat, and it survived having 26 hair ties removed from its stomach.
What?
And how careful you have to be with your cats.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. No, I don't mess around with that. Yeah, I'm glad you're telling people.
Yeah. So I wanted to revisit a story that we did a couple weeks ago where the guy snuck into the enclosure and kidnapped the kangaroos and then tortured the kangaroo and not the kangaroo.
The flamingo.
The flamingos.
Okay.
So that story resurfaced again this week, and about how they got video of the inside of the room and he tortured the flamingo.
He
was
did?
torturing it. Yes.
Oh, so choking it wasn't enough?
No, he kidnapped it and then proceeded to torture it in his hotel room until they found him and the kangaroo. And I don't know if he recorded it.
The flamingo. Not a kangaroo. It's
what
a flamingo.
What did I say again?
You said kangaroo.
Flamingo.
What did he do to the flamingo?
All it said in the report was that he tortured it. And I think that, some things you just don't want to know the answer to.
Okay, that's fair. My morbid mind's like, tell me what he did. But my animal-loving mind is like, that bastard.
Yeah, the poor flamingo. So that guy's in a lot of trouble now.
If you're gonna do dumb shit, don't fucking record it. Just save it to memory.
Yeah.
I don't know, why people gotta record everything.
No. Yeah, everything needs to be, for prosperity's sake. Whatever.
Was it the flamingo's name Peaches?
Something like that.
Is Peaches okay?
I think that it's, traumatized. It's definitely traumatized.
I can't believe they found more video. That makes me so sad.
Yeah, it's sad. Have you heard any more talk on Bigfoot sightings in Ohio?
I haven't. I did hear, I sent you a video on it, that they had this crazy meteor come through. And
yes.
And that they're starting to link these meteors coming through and extra sightings of Bigfoot. And Bigfoot, can tell when something's going to go down and is, trying to get the fuck out of Dodge because the meteor's coming through. It's kind of like dogs knowing that there's an earthquake coming.
So I've lived through a couple of earthquakes here in Utah, and Jack doesn't know crap. He looks at me because I scream when there's an earthquake, like a little girl. Instead of getting up and standing in a doorway, I scream earthquake and run around the house like a chicken with her head cut off.
But Jack is also not the brightest bulb in
He's not. He's such a poor Jack. He is a dog only a mother would love.
And you are the only mother that loves him.
Yeah.
He sucks.
He does suck. He sucks bad. He's kind of a jerk. So we'll just leave it at that.
Did you hear any more Bigfoot sightings?
No, I didn't.
I did hear that the quadriplegic in jail for murder, he pleaded guilty to it.
Yes, he did. Well, because I mean, there were 4 people in the car. Besides the person that he killed,
3 people.
4 altogether, counting him.
No, 3.
Oh, I thought that there was an extra person in the car.
And I told the story wrong. No, so I told the story wrong. He was driving. The quadriplegic was driving his Tesla, so a self-driving car. He shot the passenger next to him and then asked the backseat passenger to help him dispose of the body.
It's such a sad story. And then you see the video of him shooting that gun, and you're like, dude, you need some help. He needs some therapy. He needs to drink his water, and he needs to talk to his therapist.
The thing is if I was him, I would blatantly tell them to go find fingerprints on that gun. If my fingerprints aren't on that gun, I didn't do it.
He didn't have any.
That's the whole point.
He don't have no fingers.
That's the whole point, Mom. That was the whole point of that joke. You don't have
no
nothing.
Fingerprints on the gun. That's just not right to go. Oh, too much.
There's a joke around among my friends that I like to suck toes because I have a t-shirt that says, hell yeah, I suck toes. I will neither confirm nor deny the fact that I suck toes.
And you wanted to share this in a public forum for all the internet in the world to know why.
Don't you kink shame me? Come at me. I ain't got nothing to hide, motherfuckers. I'm an open book. But a California man gets 6 years in prison after breaking into a woman's house and sucking her toes.
You know what? Here's something funny. Here's something funny for you.
Okay.
Is that I went away for the weekend and I had my own room. But you know, when you're used to sleeping next to somebody, you always look under the bed.
Okay,
right?
yeah.
In the hotel.
Yeah.
And I was so scared. I'm like, watch there be somebody under the bed.
Okay.
Because of that story that we had a couple months ago.
Yeah. With a guy living in like the
like,
walls or something, or in the crawl space.
Yeah.
Yeah.
No. He was under the bed of the kid. He was the babysitter found him.
Oh, yeah.
The kid's like, there's a guy under the bed. She's like, no, there's not.
Holy shit. Well, Christian, 28-year-old from Modesto, has been harassing a woman for weeks until the night he finally broke into her house, according to prosecutors. A California man has been sentenced to more than 6 years in prison after breaking into a woman's house and sucking her toes, according to officials. Christian, a 28-year-old,
right.
was convicted of stalking and breaking into a residence with intent to commit a sexual act. The district attorney's office announced on Facebook last Friday. Christian first saw the unnamed woman at her workplace in February 2025 and immediately became obsessed with her, the DA's office said. He would show up at her job multiple times a day, loitering outside as he waited to approach her while she left. According to prosecutors, Christian asked the woman out multiple times and sent her a letter in which he said he wanted to take her to Mexico, the DA's office.
And what? Chop her up into little pieces? That's not right.
He harassed the woman for several weeks and learned where she lived, according to prosecutors. On the night of May 21st, 2025, he went to her house. And after her father left the home, he broke in. And the woman woke up to find Christian in her bedroom sucking her toes, according to the prosecutors. Although terrifying, the victim managed to talk Christian in a friendly demeanor in an attempt to keep him calm and de-escalate his actions. That's the thing. Like, let's...
Because de-escalating the issue is what the problem was.
Well, here's the thing. A woman to be in that scenario where someone is, we'll call this sexual harassment because that's a sexual act for some people.
Right.
for her to know that she needs to, 1, be calm, 2, talk to this person as if he's a human, and 3, try to befriend him in the midst of this happening. Because you're waking up and some dude has got your toes down his gullet. You know what I mean? Like, my first instinct is I'm going to kick a motherfucker in the jaw. You know what I'm saying? But
Right?
she was able to stay calm and regulated, which is something I can't do. I'm in therapy for being calm. For her to be able to do that, it just shows the kind of wherewithal she had. Do you think you could stay calm if you woke up to someone sucking your toes?
No. I would kick him in the face. Yeah. That would.
Okay. After, the woman's family members came home and they came into her room and they demanded Christian leave. And then he fled, according to prosecutors. The woman reported the incident to the local sheriff's office, which later identified Christian and arrested him.
He shouldn't have gotten that close to her, though.
That's the problem.
What is wrong with the laws?
That is the biggest problem with stalking, is the police legally cannot do anything until they physically do something to harm you. Whether or not they are saying they're going to physically harm you, they're doing actions that could physically harm you, but they aren't, like they left a bomb in your mailbox or something. Unless they can physically put this person where they're harming you, police cannot do anything, and those laws need to change. This man was able to get away with way too much, and it escalated from there. And the police I'm just saying policing in general is like this. I hear so many true crime stories of women getting stalked, and they've told the police, they've explained the whole situation, they've got evidence of this person saying these heinous things, and the police physically can't do anything until there's physical action taking place, and that is such bullshit.
It's not right.
Bullshit.
No. Yeah.
It says here, the victim was incredibly brave and did all the right things to get him to leave her alone. Always pleading no contest to stalking and breaking into the residence to commit a sexual act. Pussy. You know exactly what you fucking did, bro. He was given the maximum sentence of 6 years and 8 months.
That was the max?
Yep. That was the max.
You'd think for stalking it would be a little bit more than that.
You would think for a lot of things it would be more than that. You know what I'm saying?
All right. What else you got for me tonight?
That was it. I had to end the session on sucking toes. I just had to.
Because the toe sucking is important.
It is. Every healthy relationship sucks on toes and licks a butthole once in a while.
I have no comment for that. You left me absolutely speechless.
Oh, that was fantastic. You gotta try it once, Mom.
Ugh, Kota. Things that your parents don't need to know about. That'd be like right there at the top of the list.
That's just payback.
Oh. All right. Well, that's it for us this week. Ending on a laugh. Don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. And leave your comment below for what keeps you up at night. And maybe we'll talk about it in the coming up podcast.
Mm-hmm.
So make sure you check us out at currentchatterpodcast.com and have a good one. Don't forget to drink your water and talk to your therapist. Bye.
Bye-bye. Hell yeah, I suck toes.
You need to talk to your therapist about this. It doesn't seem helpful.